Hi, YouTube. How are you? I'm doing okay. My beef jerky is almost done. The bigger pieces are almost done, and Doug tried some. He said they were the best yet that I've made, and I've made a real lot of jerky in my life, so that'll be good. I'll try some later. Then I think I'll cook some Brussels sprouts and just eat them, So, yeah. But yeah, we were talking about the no letter J back in the day, and Doug goes, "Give him a message for me. Tell him I'm from France." Well, that's a joke because of the cone heads. They were from France, but they really were aliens. Um, and then I started saying, well, um, oh, we were talking about God, and I said, well, my biggest prayer to Him is to never let me go or never let me fall, because if you pray for that, that's then He guides you the whole way. And Doug's like, well, I'm never gonna let you go, and don't let me go, when he walks out the door. So it's like, yeah, okay, you know but he is right. He said, if God stops talking to you, he said, oh, what happens when he stops talking to you, is what he said. And I said, well, that's not going to happen. you know. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was thinking on a little addition from last night, with upsets in a person's life, and the electronics they're using, and personal upsets. And if you have like post traumatic stress, like from a rough childhood and stuff like that, which many of us had, um, they can use that against you, and they know different things that will trigger you, that type of thing. So just be careful on your upsets, because that's when you can get sick, and that's when they can attack you more. Is um, that's a narcissist's favorite weapon, is the argument, or even if it's just regular conversation, and then it will turn into something that they flip it on you, that type of thing. So yeah, that person that called me a witch lives in a city I used to live in, a suburb of Minneapolis. And I lived in a group home there one time when I was young, uh, when I started running away. So they were trying to find something to do with me. So anyway, this person lives there, and I forgot to tell you, she also not only called me a witch, but she's in a coven, part of the Minnesota chapter of it. Like, well, I said about 100 miles, but it's about 80 miles from here. 70, 80 miles. Not too far, actually. And do you know what this person said to me? I forgot to tell you. She said, "The Lord rebukes you," she said to me. I'm like, what? Well, I know Jesus Christ doesn't, and God Almighty, so I don't know what Lord she's praying to, but we all do. Yeah. She hangs with them ones. So, yeah, weirdos, freaking creeps. I think I got to take my apology back. Well, anyway, so yeah, I just really pretty much just wanted to say hi to everybody. I know things aren't easy, and I don't know if you looked up that antediluvian, the vampires, but we all know about the cannibals and whatnot, and then you'll understand who Enoch was or wasn't, and why the flood came about, you know. So, and God did not want the spirit of Satan to diminish in a man that he was in, and he was on that boat. That's the name of Noah. I was telling you about is from the Cain bloodline. And that's how he preserved that blood up until now for these end times to clean it out of everybody. And that's why. Seriously, so. And the more you study on that, if you do, the more you'll realize, or you can take my word for it. I've been accused, excuse me, I've been accused of being brutally honest. Well, I am. Even sometimes to my own peril, you know. So, you know, like even if I did something stupid and then just said so right away, I'm not one of them that's going to try and find a different way to say something or do something to make myself look clean. I'll just say, hey, I did this, and ask God to forgive me, or if I wronged a person, and ask forgiveness and move on, you know? So, and honestly and luckily, I don't mess up as much as I used to in my life. So, yeah, they say with age comes wisdom. Well, I don't know about always. I heard somebody saying that he was the oldest thing, well, maybe on his channel. So, not around my house. So, I even have some friends or subs that are older than me. So, there's people out there that know things a lot more than little babies playing games, is how I see it, you know. Although they're evil games and uh, they don't, well, I can't say they don't know what they do, because they know extremely and entirely who they serve and who they don't serve. And when they're hurting somebody with a good heart, they are not serving our Father and Jesus Christ at all. It's just obvious. I used to beat my head against the wall, wondering, how do I get to a person? How do I put God into their heart, you know? And oh, I have seen the very best in life liars deceive me. Um, Not entirely, though, because always inside, you know, they say, well, your gut feelings, and you make excuses, or I made excuses for people. I would always make excuses for them. Well, this or that, and they'll be okay. If they're like me, they'll do this, or you see what I'm saying? Like, they'll grow out of it, or maybe they just have to go through this or that. But some people literally um, wanted to be here in this times to serve Satan. And that's the bottom line with that. And those are the dangerous ones. So I'm not playing games with these people. So when um, they come against me, and I do expect more, because I'm not going to quit, and I'm sure they're not either. So when you see a lot of dirty things said about me, like I sing a song, and they say, oh, she's patronizing the Masons or something like that. All I got to say about that is I wouldn't even say kiss my ass, because I don't want you near me. So I'll just say, go F yourself, because that's all you're worth. You shouldn't be touching a human being if you are, because you're filthy. So, anyway, um, yeah, it's serious. It's really serious. People are getting murdered and hurt, and men, women, children are being taken from their homes and used any way they wish to use them. And we all feel this in ourselves. and they want Christ dead, which can't happen. Can't kill a spirit. So, but it is disheartening to see people not care about it. I'll never get over it. I'll never get used to it. Doug said he heard a report on the way home from the store today. He heard that they were talking about dogs, that dogs get this dumbfounded look, like they put their head sideways when they don't understand your words. And I said, no. I said, they understand everything. Cats and dogs are liars. My dog will look at me like she's stupid, and she knows full well what I said to her. Their capacity of language is like a 5-year-old child. By the time they're about, or by the time they're 5, they're like a 1-year-old child who understands everyday basic language and then starts practicing it. The only thing is the poor animals can't tell on their masters when they're doing bad things to them. That's the only difference. Well, see, they condition children in our world to not speak up when they're hurt, and the same with adults. Adults don't talk freely of their abuse. For instance, normally, um, recently more than ever, but a long time ago, I had asked my adopted mother if she ever had been abused. She looked me right in the eye and said, absolutely not. Why would you think that? You know, um, and I knew she was lying to me. So, where do you go with that? I said, well, I just had a feeling, you know, and I've asked other people and I get about the same answer. And I said, well, some people don't care and others actually enjoy it. So, like I say, where do you go with that stuff? So, but even like working in the retirement homes, I'd look at them old people, look in their eyes, and I could see it. You know, you can just see it, who's been abused and who hasn't. There's a certain look. You know, there is. To me, there is. You know, but anyway, there's probably hardly a human being on this planet that wasn't assaulted and abused in some extreme or manner, came out unscathed. Like I said, some actually just like the abuse, you know. So, or they think they do. I don't know. But anyway, going back to that vampire thing, it never ended on this planet. That's the thing. These same bloodlines, and yes, they really are like that. You know, I know seems like like just a horror movie or something, but I mean, you know, when you see all this crazy horror movies and stuff, and like it's fictitious, it's not actual, it's fake, and but like they say, the truth is stranger than fiction. That's so true. And the more we uncover all this stuff and help each other with these things like that, to understand that, to protect you, so you can realize the true horrors in this world and what they're trying to cover up. They're literally covering up for Satan. His original lies, his original sins has come through their bloodline, and they foster that. And you can just tell there's almost like they either go overboard, like they're really cruel, or they're just like way too sweet, like something's wrong with it. You know what I mean? I mean, not the normal sweet, like friends talking, or like the ladies I talk to on here. Not, not like I love you and you're beautiful, you're my friend. Not like that, but like this. I call it buttery or syrupy, like, oh, oh yeah, like Robin would say, clinging to him with flatteries. That's what. Sorry about that. I thought I had the volume turned down. Um, I'll get that turned down in case there's another one. Um, yeah, people that would maybe not cling to you with flatteries, but say something that's just weird or off, or like if somebody, I love your brother, I love you, sister. I mean, there's, I don't know, a lot of people can say that to me and I'd believe them, but there's some people that say that and it's like, liar. I know you're lying to me, you know? And all you got to do is just say one thing towards them. Like, I just noticed you did this or that. And man, they're off like Satan himself, if you know what I mean. Like, they'll go off on you, you know. Of course, I will too if I'm insulted, but yeah, I really will. Not viciously so, though. Well, with my mouth, absolutely. Probably the worst you ever heard if it came right down to it. So, yeah, I could get bad. It's no excuse I was raised by a Masonic sailor, but it probably didn't help matters, you know. I was getting in trouble with that stuff when I was pretty young. I was out saying the F word when I was like 5, and they heard me across the way. Well, if you grow up around it, you know. And it was so crude, so crude. I've been around some of the crudest things that would come out of things that the average person or normal person wouldn't even think, you know? So, yeah, totally filthy, disgusting. Yeah, if anybody wants to celebrate a birthday on my channel here, we'll do that. Let me know when your birthday's going to be, like a day or so ahead of time, and I'll make sure to give you a shout out. Happy birthday. For real. Yeah, I was going to say, tell me your age and your social security number. And I'm just kidding. Yeah. Where you're born, where you live right now. What color is your house? Yeah, I wonder if that witch realizes that I could just drive down there and say hi. And then she'd have to call me a witch to my face when she actually is one. Unbelievable. I studied witchcraft, I don't practice it. And even the what they call like white Wiccan is still not of God, Jesus Christ. So, um, yeah, it is forbidden. That's why they try to pretend that it's not. It's just like that song. what was I saying? And they all come together in the middle at the Old Lang Syne. That's what I forgot to say at the, or maybe I did at the end of it. They are in a circle as they're singing it, holding hands. Then they all come together, and I mean, it looks just like Druids. Um, some of their ceremonies and that has been carried over into the Wiccan crap and all that, so they can't fool me. I know better. See, that's just it. They know I see them. So, and they know I know, you know. Of course I did. I studied to battle their asses, So, and good always does win. And they know it. See, they know too. Um, they know that Satan's power isn't as strong as it was. They got a group together to gang up on just one Christian. They do. They can't do it alone. One on one, even a group of them struggle to talk to just one of you. you know, they do. Say, Robin, nice bunk beds. I love bunk beds. They're so cool. You know, I had a couple for my kids. Well, a couple different times. So, yeah, they're pretty neat. I thought about even building some, um, making more room in one of my rooms. But I don't know. Never know. The old saying, you never know what tomorrow will bring. I mean, I always knew in my lifetime I would see evil diminish, and I can feel its stronghold lessening, you know, and that is a big indication. It really is. I get tired. I have my tired days. Like the day before yesterday, I was just exhausted. But it depends on what I do, and when you really, really do manual labor a lot of your life or most of your life, and you get tired, But I mean, I have energy through the day, but I used to stay up night and day because I'm kind of hyper, and it was always hard for me to sleep because I didn't want to sleep. I still kind of feel like that. I lay down and I feel like I'm cheating myself, like I could be doing something, but I'm just laying here, that type of weird feeling. So, yeah, it's hard for me to rest. It really is. You might notice it's hard for me to sit still a lot too. It's difficult. That reminds me of my oldest son when I was pregnant with him. He literally ran around in my stomach, I swear to God. And then when he was about 17, he started running long distance, like 12 miles at a time. And I can walk about 25 in a day, but run, nah. I used to run about 3 miles. That was good for me. so, but, yeah, I still run. Not a lot, but I still run. Like usually at my driveway, which was is a eighth of a mile, kind of an incline. So just every so often, about once a month, I just get my heart rate up there. And then I do a lot of strenuous stuff that gets my heart rate up there anyway. So yeah, Heavy lifting, lot of lifting. I keep busy. I think I'd go crazy if I didn't see that's the thing. I don't know. Some people can just sit. I've noticed, like with the Illuminati, they can sit there. They just sit there and they don't like to get up. It's like, and when they have to do something, they get really crabby. It's like, whoa, I would hate to live in that shell. um, Shell hell. Yeah. Yeah, it would be miserable. I had a stroke because of my allergies. My sinuses got so backed up, it literally put poison in my blood. And now that that's cleared up, they did an operation to fix a deviated septum in there. Um, Now I can breathe better, and I still have my allergies, but I only thought I had hay fever and cats and dogs, and then with all these food allergies I have and chemicals and everything, even my clothes. Um, so it makes it a bit miserable, but at least I'm aware of things that are making me feel terrible so I can try and avoid most of them, you know, not all of them, but some anyway, it helps. But yeah, back to people that have heart attacks and stuff, um, a lot of it actually is their own doing, because they didn't take care of themselves. Sitting around eating fatty foods and whatever, you know. And I call it like the Satan enzyme. No wonder they have to drink blood because they think that they're getting some kind of beauty out of it or something. Then why are they fat and ugly? Just wondering, you know. Like I said, I've been overweight. I'm not like dissing on people. Like if you get injured or something bad's happening or even stress, that type of thing, I understand what the hell's going on in this world. Um, and it will it, um, affect our intestines and the way we digest our food. I mean, if somebody's crappy to you while you're eating your meal, you know that feeling you get. So I mean, I'm really aware of all the physical ramifications of this evil world. So I'm not dissing on people like that. I'm dissing on these evil bastards, you know. I mean, look at, like, if you see a photo of these Masons or Shriners or whatever, I mean, they're standing there and they look like they're pregnant, you know. I mean, if that is an indication that somebody's had too much steak or something in their life, you know what I mean? Alcohol, steak, you know, living high off the hogs, so they say. And yeah, that's another thing. They really like their pork. They really do. Long pig. 42% human DNA. I have a video down there. Um, there's one I have called porkitis. I had ate some and just, sometimes I just about lose it if, like, that's what I'm cooking or something. It's like, bacon's okay, and I'll make it like super crisp, or I try and disguise pork if that's what I have, but we don't eat a lot of it. And Doug was on this ham kick, and it's like, ugh, I don't know. I don't know. Once in a while. just can't. Depends. Like I like pork rinds, like them crispy things. Like if it's like just about burnt, I'll eat it. Something like that. Be like, yeah, come over. I'm making a pork roast, and I take it out of the oven. It went in like this, and it comes out about like that big. That would be me. When I first met Doug, I cooked some pork chops, and I just about cooked him to death, and he just couldn't get over that. Well, then I went down to his mom's house, and she made pork chops, and they were like almost like jerky, and I just loved them. you know He's like, yeah, his mother burnt everything, like potatoes, and I grew up eating like fried potatoes with onion in it. The onions would get burnt, and the potatoes would be kind of raw and greasy, and oh, undescribable, totally undescribable. If anybody's ever had that flavor in their mouth, even a little bit. But, and I could go on and on with a couple other things that would totally gross you out, but so I won't. Unless you ask me, you want me to, I'll give you a list of the grossest things. What's the grossest things I ever ate? Maybe I'll make a video. I don't know exactly what they, oh, like I know the doctor had recommended tranquilizers for me, and I said no, and I think they were giving them to me anyway. So when I started running away, I started feeling better. It's like before that, in my childhood, like was really everything was dark. I literally didn't see things in color like they got when I ran away. It's like the whole world opened up colorful to me. I actually had a little bit of happy time, at least I thought I did, even though it was sort of hard. But even just walking down the road was a relief, even if I was starving and tired, and it just was better than that. So, yeah, that's why I'm glad they came up with, at least in the United States, they have a runaway hotline. I think that's really cool. I wish they would have had one when I was a kid. I don't know what they would have done with me, but yeah, God knows, huh? But yeah, if you look into that antediluvian and Enoch, and then you'll see that the Cain and the Cain bloodline, um, Canaanites, uh, are all connected. And that does go further back. You can really research that, but what I'm telling you is the truth from the knowledge that I got, from my understanding of everything. And there was something else on that I was going to try and think. Just a minute. Um, oh yeah, I even got mad even last year when Steve suggested that Robin had the Enoch spirit, and people were pushing the book of Enoch on everybody, and it's like, yeah, I see you. I know what you're doing. You know. But yeah, that wasn't it. It was something else. Hmm. Well, if I think about it, I'll put it on tomorrow's. Maybe I'll just give it a minute and think here. Enoch, I-E, A-K-A, Satan. Same with Noah, Paul, Saul. Yeah, some people push the book of Paul too, which is kind of whatever. Oh, that's what it was. Wasn't even about that. It was about Robin's no J's on all them names. It was Joshua fought the battle of Jericho and the walls came tumbling down. I bet some people know that song. So, yeah, Joshua with the J. Like I say, there was Joseph, and he said, James, Jonathan, Jesus, John, Jezebel. I mean, all these names with J's, Jezebel just doesn't sound the same. You know what I mean? Um, so that was it. That's it for today, everybody. I'm gonna go. I literally have to turn my oven off. I put it on this rack, these racks I have, my jerky, and then you use a wooden spoon just to keep it ajar at the lowest setting, and um, cook it like that all day, and then I flip it over and feel around what ones are done. I use plastic food grade gloves, them ones like for food service, and so I don't have to wash every time I monkey with it because my hands would be so raw. No, I've got a couple of nurses that watch me too. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, it does get painful some days. Your hands hurt so bad from washing. Same with food service. Them two things. Oh my God. You know, but that's the way it goes. So, yeah. Okay, everybody. I love you very much. Thank you for joining me. And for the new people that popped in and said hi and watched me, thank you. That's very nice. So, well, peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota. God bless your day or night, wherever you're at. Talk to you soon. Later, Gators.